Hi, this is Danny V. Stay tuned for the new arrivals at Urca Auto Center after the scoop.
Hi, I'm Kate Krieger-Watkins here with The Scoop for Mason County Press, brought to you by Safe Harbor Credit Union and Urca Auto Center. And today I'm joined with Jim Gallie, the Ludington State Park manager.
Hi, how are you doing? Thanks for coming out.
No, thanks for joining me. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit today about some of the summer programming. I know you guys have a lot of good live music at the amphitheater and the beach house and some other events that are going on. So can we talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, we have a music series out at the park, and we've been doing this for quite a few years. And this came about actually as a partnership with our friends group and our campground hosts. The campground hosts here at the park collect all the returnable bottles and cans from the beer and pop that people drink and don't want to carry back home with them. Mm-hmm. So we have baskets throughout the park and they can drop those off, and then all of that fund goes into paying for these musicians, and it's all done through our campground hosts. So they spend
cool.
Yeah, they spend hours and hours in the can cave sorting cans and bottles, and then the friends group members come in once or twice a week, pick those up and take them to Myers. So hopefully you'll never get stuck behind them at Myers, the returnable line.
Yeah, no kidding. Although they've kind of amped that up so it goes a little faster now. Yeah. So it's all basically paid for with return deposits and stuff like that.
Yeah, that and donations. We do solicit for some donations at the events if anyone. It's more of a pass the bucket kind of thing.
Sure, awesome, cool. So who are some? Well, let's start with this. When does the music start?
Well, the first one is coming up this Saturday.
Okay.
And that's Mike Lenich, who's a very popular local musician.
Right.
He's played out here. I know he's with a lot of different bands, and he's going to be out here with Road Less Traveled and by himself.
So, he's starting by himself, and then they're going to play later on. Okay, cool. Right. Who are some other returning guests? Are there anybody new that you're excited to see?
Okay, returning, Lee Murdoch, he travels around the Great Lakes, does a lot of songs about lighthouses, shipwrecks, the Great Lakes in general. He's been coming around for quite a few years, so he'll be back. Chris Valillo, a very popular artist, I think he's from Indiana or Illinois. He does a lot of kind of Americana folk music. He'll be back as well. For new musicians, we have Ben Bedford. He's another popular musician from Indiana, and he does a lot of folk music as well.
All right, cool. And most of the performances are at the amphitheater, which, correct me if I'm wrong, but if you want to get there with better parking, you would enter where you would turn into the Skyline Trail before you crossed over the Sauble River.
Right, yeah, that would be the best way to get there.
Kind of wind back into the sand dunes there. So I know some people, if they're new to coming to the Ludington State Park, they sometimes don't even know that part exists.
Right, yeah,
really. So you want to, before you go over the bridge, there's a turn to the right, to the east that you want to turn down. There's parking down there, and the amphitheater is just kind of, you can see it right from the parking lot there.
Yeah.
So
The other best place to park would be if you come into the park itself, you can drive towards the Cedar Day-Use area, Cedar Campground. There's some parking there, and then just cross the footbridge.
Right. So are these all on Saturdays?
No, we actually do split those between Saturdays and Wednesdays, depending on the artist. We kind of try to work with them on their scheduling.
Sure.
Some of the regional artists are touring in the area, so we try to work with them to fit their schedule. And not all of them are at the amphitheater either. Some of them are going to be held here at the beach house.
Right. Which I forgot to mention that's where we are today. We're on Lake Michigan at the beach house. And are they all at 7 p.m.?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay,
yep.
Cool.
We do have the list
here. We
here.
have the cheat sheet here, so if you see us looking down. But you'll see these all over town. I know there's one at the library and there's one online. If you go to Friends of the Ludington State Park or the Ludington State Park Facebook page, website, that's all listed there too, so that will come in handy. So, and a big draw, I think, will be Chloe Kimes.
Yes, Chloe's coming back, and I believe this is the only show she's playing in the area.
I think you're right.
So we're really excited that she took the opportunity to reach out to us and say, hey, do you mind if I play there again?
And it should be busy because it's July 3rd, the day before the 4th of July, and that will be in the beach house here, and that starts at 7 p.m., so that will be kind of exciting. And she does bring in a large draw because she is local and has been doing some pretty amazing stuff down in the Nashville area, so that's cool. So now, any other events that are coming up besides music that you want to talk about?
We don't always do music out there. One of the most popular programs that we've had over the past few years has been the Birds of Prey program, and that's through the Outdoor Discovery Center. I think they're out of the Holland area. And they'll bring up, eagles, owls, and they're a rehabilitative services type place, so they get these injured animals that are brought in, they rehab them, and they're usually in the condition where they can't be let back out into the wild.
Okay.
So they use them for education. And they're coming here twice this year. And then towards the end of the season, we have the Michigan Reptiles and Amphibians program, which is always very popular.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I brought my daughter to that last year, so
Yeah.
she really liked that. So yeah, it's fun. It's fun for the whole family, and everything's free.
Yes, everything's free.
I mean, unless you don't have your passport.
Well, yes, yeah, the rec passport is required
Right.
for any of the programs in the park. So.
And for a day, how much is a day pass now?
Well, we don't do day passes anymore.
Okay.
Okay. A few years ago, we switched to the rec passport from the Michigan State Park sticker, and the recreation passport is now just a yearly thing for Michigan residents.
Okay.
And if you get it at the Secretary of State's office, you can save a few dollars. It's $11 there. If you purchase it here at the park, it's $16, and that's good for the whole year until you renew your license plate.
Okay,
again.
sounds good. I remember those. The stickers used to be really cool.
Yeah.
They had that one guy that designed all of them, and it was a big thing for us to have him riding up our
Yeah.
windshield. It was like, a trophy for our old car. So, let's talk a little bit about the weather.
Okay. It's been a little rough.
Yeah, how has this lovely, damp, and cool weather affected the state park this year so far?
Well, I mean, if you take a look outside, you can see there aren't too many people out at the beach right now. It's cold. The lake is 52 degrees this morning when we measured the temperature, and with the wind coming off the lake, you can definitely feel it as you get closer to the lake. So that and the rain have really slowed down business this year.
And what about lake and river levels?
Yeah, with the lake levels approaching, well, they actually did hit a record in May, and with those approaching the all-time record, it's really changed the shoreline. We're seeing a lot more debris wash up on the shore. Dock sections, stairways, those are washing out into the lake, and I think because we're a bit of a point here, we
Right.
collect a lot of it. And so our staff is having to spend more time out on the beach picking up debris, because a lot of it has nails, screws.
Right.
It's something you need to be careful of.
Right. Now, about from first curve up into the entrance of the park, has that been affected? I know last year a lot of that area, the beach, significantly shrunk. And are we seeing, I'm guessing, even more of those? Are there certain areas you need to tell people, don't just go running down those paths because it's going to just fall out from under you?
Yeah, from what I've seen at a few of the times I've stopped down there to go to the beach or take a look on the shoreline, there are some sections that just drop right down into the water or very close to it.
Yeah.
So it's going to be, I think we're going to see a lot more people at the beach here.
Okay.
Just because it's the only spot where there is beach.
Sure, because I noticed last year the dune grass would kind of cover it, so you didn't really notice until you got really close. It was a very large drop. So that is something that you definitely want to be careful of, because it does erode and it gets bigger, it gets smaller depending on every year and the water levels and whatnot. So. What are just some of the? Can you give me some of the average stats about the Ludington State Park? Because
Okay.
I always have been told that we're always ranked in the top 3 of the Michigan State Parks as most visited or most camped at. I don't know what they base it on, but talk to me about this.
So, we're 5,300 acres. Well, actually 5,400 acres now that we acquired the
Right.
100 acres of Sergeant Sand. The former Sergeant Sand property. We get about 850,000 visitors per year, which it's a lot, but it's not the top. I mean, places like Belle Isle and Holland, they get more visitors overall. But we are number 1 in the state for camp nights and the number of campers that stay here.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
I mean,
by far, too.
This is truly a gem of the area, and I mean, we both were brought up in the area and stuff, but it is really kind of unique seeing that it has 3 different water systems within the park of Hamlin Lake into Sauble River into Lake Michigan, which a lot of the other parks don't necessarily have, and the 3 different campgrounds. And I think each campground kind of provides something different to the campers too, as far as the Pines is very shady, a lot more pine trees and that kind of thing, where Cedar seems to be a little bit more open. The sites seem to be maybe a little bit bigger, and then Beechwood is over on, a lot of it is on Hamlin and stuff like that, so it's kind of a mix of both. And I feel it's truly one of the greatest state parks that I've ever been to in Michigan, let alone in the United States. And I'm a little partial, but
I agree.
The stats speak volumes too. If that many people are camping and over the next number 2. So what are some of your favorite things about the park?
Well, I mean, you hit on it a little bit with the diversity of the water. I mean, having Hamlin Lake there, if you want to go swimming or if you want to paddle, There's some nice, we have a canoe trail, which is really cool, but you don't even need to follow the canoe trail. There's all the nice islands and peninsulas that you can paddle around. Provides a little bit of protection and some beautiful scenery. The lake warms up earlier, so
Right.
if Lake Michigan is chilly, a lot of times you can go into Hamlin Lake. And I think it's a little bit more of a kid-friendly area, especially with the
Absolutely.
playground addition. Yeah. And parents feel a bit safer maybe in the water at Hamlin Lake. Lake Michigan, I mean, growing up next to Lake, I don't know what else to say about Lake
Right.
Michigan, and other than it's the second best lake after Superior, but
Wow.
my wife would argue that it's her favorite.
Wow,
So.
yeah. Well, and the fact that you guys, how many miles do you own on the lake? Do you know?
It's about 7 miles.
Right. So,
Yeah.
I mean, and that's, able to go to. I mean, if you have, even before you even have to have the passport, I mean, there's so much that I mean, literally you guys could have put the booth right at First Curve, but there's all of that free access out there too, which is amazing, which a lot of state parks don't have.
Right.
So,
And we do hope people would still support the park with the recreation
Yes.
passport, but it is not required on the highway. So. But it also butts up against Nordhaus Dunes too. So in addition to the 7 miles of undeveloped shoreline here, you've got another maybe 5 miles
Right.
before you get up to the Lake Michigan recreation area. So it really is a great chunk of property. It's protected, I think, by both agencies, and there for people to share.
great trails for hiking and cross-country skiing, a lot of good fishing.
Yeah.
Hunting, I know you can hunt in the park, but there's designated outlying areas and that kind of thing.
Yes, and it's best to see it on a map.
Okay.
But mainly the area around the campgrounds and the heavy day use areas, we don't allow hunting, but outside of those boundaries, you
Okay.
can. And we have maps that show where that is.
Sure.
So.
If people have any kind of questions about the park that maybe they ask at the booth or they see one of you guys walking through that they might need more information, is the office open and available for them to go into, or is the check-in center probably the best place to go?
Actually the office is open Monday through Friday, 8 to 4:30. And we're always happy to have people come in and ask questions if they want to know anything. Alan Wernett is our park interpreter, does a lot of our programming. He's a great resource for the history of the park, a lot of the natural resources as well. So.
Okay. And one last thing. Big Saba Lighthouse.
Yes.
Are you guys going to be offering the free rides out to the lighthouse this year? Do you know?
Well, there's 6 different days this week. They're not free. There is a cost for those.
Okay.
But
I'm a liar.
Yeah, there's 6 different days this year that we're going to have the lighthouse bus tours running.
Okay, and you'll have those posted?
Yeah,
Okay.
they're posted on our website, the Sable Points Lighthouse Keepers Association website as well.
Okay.
And then we do have a park newspaper that, like a printout
I didn't know
newspaper.
that.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Yeah, you can pick that up at the booth, and that has all those dates as well.
Great. And there is also a park store in Cedar where if you are camping or planning on camping, that you can get some of the general necessities for camping and whatnot as well. Buy your firewood there. Is it legal this year to bring in firewood, or can you only buy on the premises?
It's still legal to bring it in. We kind of encourage people to buy it locally. We've got a lot of invasive species that have moved through this area recently. Emerald ash borer took out a lot of trees. The beech bark disease. Oak wilt is the next scary one that we're really worried about, and we know it's only a couple miles away from the park. And it's pretty tenacious, goes after red oaks primarily, can kill them quickly, and almost all of our oaks are in the red oak family. So we're very nervous about that. So we would encourage buying the firewood locally, preferably in the store, or a kiln-dried firewood that you could purchase would be good as well.
Great. Well, thanks for joining me.
Yeah,
I really
thanks for having me.
appreciate it, and it's a lovely day out here. It's a little chilly, a little breezy, but I mean, the sun came out, which is nice because we haven't really been seeing that much. So if for any other news, you can check out MasonCountyPress.com, and our weather is always brought to you by Smith & Eddy Insurance, which is also available on there. Check it out, because I think some of the rain that was supposed to happen this weekend might not be happening as far as when I looked last.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, that would be nice. Good for you, good for us. So thanks again for joining me. And come check out the Ludington State Park, because they definitely have a lot to offer, not just in the summer, but all year round.
Here we are at Irka Auto Center, and I got a 2017 Ford F-150 Super Cab, Crew Cab, XLT, Chrome Package. It's 4x4, remote start, heated seats. It's got a trailer package, 5.0 V8, and it's only $26,000. We're making him an offer. Let's see what happens. Check this one out. A 2016 GMC Yukon. Oh my gosh. 8 passengers, 4x4, 20-inch wheels. New tires. You can save thousands on his car. Look at this. Is it really a car or is it a big truck car? I don't know. You come check it out at ERCOT. 2016 Ram Crew Cab 4x4. It's got a Hemi. It's V8, 20-inch chrome wheels, tow package, only one owner. And get this, $3,381 below Kelley Blue Book. I might have to buy this myself. Come on down. A 2016 GMC Sierra 1500. I'm not sure what the 1500 means or the 2500. I think it might mean something with the tons or something like that. But double cab, SLE model. Man, 4x4 bucket seats, one owner. Super nice running boards. See those? Yeah, and a tonneau cover. That is something to come down and see us for. And there you have it. Some of the new arrivals here at ERCOT Auto Center.